Hi and welcome to the last and final video for your tips and tricks setup with interactive notebooks. Thank you so much for all the time that you have spent going through these videos and working with me to implement interactive notebooks into your classroom. First, I just want to bring to light that assessing your notebooks can get very time consuming if you are looking at all of the assignments, all of the notebooks, every single word that they've written down. You can tweak things when it comes to assessment so you're not spending hours and hours and hours grading these notebooks that are so wonderfully put together by your students, and they are a wonderful tool for your kids to use. So how do you do that? Well, some ideas to think about are several of the ones that I have listed here. So a holistic approach, using some kind of a feedback method that gives them positive comments, ensuring accountability by allowing students to use journals on quizzes and tests. I didn't really use them that much on tests when I was in the classroom, but it is a possibility. You may want to throw that out there once in a while when they're not expecting it. It rewards the kids that are doing exactly what you're asking them to do, and it encourages the ones that maybe aren't quite doing what you'd hope. So using peer evaluations in addition to a defined rubric also helps your students to be held accountable for the things that they're keeping in their notebooks, looking at their structure, looking at the table of contents compared to what's in the notebook. Have they been taking notes on the days that you've given them? Have they been giving you feedback? So there is one rubric down here on the lower right hand corner that I've given you. This is a very brief rubric. This might be one that you want to use for peer evaluations. So for those short evaluation periods where you don't have very much time, but you do want to give your kids a chance to compare their notes, if you will, and look at each other's to discuss different pages. So you'll find that they have conversations such as, oh, you don't have this in your notebook, but I do. Let me help you there. It encourages collaboration among your students as well. And there is nothing wrong with that, because we know that when you get into the workforce, you find yourself working with peers and you tend to end up critiquing each other's work. Happens here in my line of work, happens in your line of work. And we want to reflect what's going to happen in the workforce for them. That's really what much of this is about. Any time that you use a tool for process skills like interactive notebooks is only going to help them in their skills and college readiness. Just some suggestions from when I was in the classroom. I used interactive notebooks from the time I walked in till the time I walked out, and that is very much truth. I started teaching back in 2004. My notebook was mainly used for laboratory experiments because it was part of the course that I taught. Once I had taught for my 11-year time span, my notebook usage changed throughout time because there is no right or wrong way to do these notebooks. Eventually I got to a point where instead of just checking labs, I was checking labs plus my formative assessments plus notes and things. There was a point that I was probably grading too much in the notebook, and I know that sounds kind of funny, but I wasn't giving my kids effective feedback because I was focused on everything. I was spread so thin. So it's important to pick your battles for these notebooks and give them quality feedback so they know you appreciate what they're doing and that they are growing each day when they're in your classroom. Selecting things such as open answered questions, questions they have made themselves, labs where they've collected data. Focus on those things. What is aligned with your standards? Are they getting feedback, and are they giving you enough feedback so you know that they get it? That's really what's key to using interactive notebooks and using it as a formative assessment tool, which is essentially what you're going to be doing. So I will get off my soapbox there. And just wanted to show you an example of another type of rubric. This rubric to me is very long and has a lot of detail. So I would use this more at a unit type of assessment at the end of a grading period, not as a checkpoint. You might want to change the rubric. I am not saying that this is the end all be all of rubrics. You can edit this as you feel necessary. I've shared all the files with you, and there's other ones out on the internet, and I'm sure that there are veteran teachers on your campus that might have one you could use yourself that's worked. So listen to the others around you, collaborate with them and their ideas, and then make it work for you and make it work for your students. Whatever is going to be best for them to get the most out of their notebooks so they know that they're learning in your class every day. Some discussion questions. So this is the end of our online learning experience, and I will be checking in with you in the chat room. So if you'll go in there, just make sure you have touched on all of the discussion areas throughout the modules that you have done, which up to this point should be through Module 3. You'll need to schedule a Google Hangout with me within the next few weeks. If you want to give yourself some time, you are going to have to provide some student artifacts before you talk to me through Google Hangout. I'll be asking for those things just to see what you're doing. You can certainly wait a couple weeks if you wish. So I'll be looking for you to email me and let me know when you would like to set up a Google Hangout. It can be during a professional learning time when you and several teammates are together. If you want to collaborate on something, that would be great too. And that's essentially what we want you doing. If you have any questions, just let me know. You can either put it in the chat or you can email me directly, samantha.bradbury@region10.org. And I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks.